What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, we gotta have a good little talk real quick. Glorilla actually came out recently with a new interview, and she talked about some of the pitfalls of actually making it in hip hop, getting the deal, going overseas, becoming this household name, this big artist. She basically accomplished what everybody is setting out to do. But in this interview, she actually talked about how relationships with family, friends, people she loved and trusted actually ended up going sour to the point where she no longer communicates with them. I want to say some direct quotes from Glorilla in this video, and I want to break down exactly what she's saying and give you guys a heads up or just something to expect. I know a lot of artists actually watch my channel. That's probably the majority of people that tune into my channel is artists and creatives. These are things to watch out for no matter what level of success you attain, especially if you're in the entertainment field. Let's get into it. So in her latest interview with The Cut, she says, "Me blowing up changed a lot, like 50% of my family. I really don't even care to talk about it. Money changed the people around you. It don't change you per se. It for sure changed the people around you though. I don't got a problem cutting people off, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I have no problem cutting people off once I see what type of stuff they be on. They just got to go. Because it ain't no room for that no more. I'm on a whole nother level now. And if you still on BS, then I just don't want to talk to you." So this is something that happens to a lot of people when they run into success, especially rappers, entertainers, man, because the big thing about it is everyone around you sees who you were for the majority of your life, where you come from, and they know that you've seen all of those things as well, where you come from, how everybody around you has been living since you came into the world. And now that you have the opportunity to go and make something of yourself, they feel like you have the opportunity to change everybody else's destiny, everybody else's fate. You have, at the snap of a finger, the ability to Thanos change the world. You know what I'm saying? And even though that may not be true, or it may be true to a certain extent, these people don't understand the level of responsibility that comes with that, because they see you get a deal, they see you get a chain. That does not necessarily mean that you have money. You could get $1 million deal and still not have bread for personal. The deal is the value of the deal, right? So the announcement is $1.5 million, $2 million deal, contract, right? That doesn't mean that the advance is $1 million. That don't mean that the advance or that you all of a sudden have all this money in your bank account. And even if you do, y'all got to understand that labels ain't necessarily just paying artists to exist once they sign, right? Let's use Glorilla as an example. She signed to Yo Gotti. First thing Yo Gotti did when he signed Glorilla was get her a chain. They went and got her teeth fixed. So he's coming out of pocket, giving her things, not necessarily paying her. The money ain't going to her. Maybe he already had the chain in the tuck. Maybe he went and bought a new one. Probably spent 30, 40 grand on it out of his own pocket. Got her teeth fixed, you know what I'm saying? Because she had little baby teeth when she came out, right? And they was a little spaced out. Now she got them big chompers in her mouth, you know what I'm saying? She got them Bugs Bunny mouths, man. Big Glow, please don't roast me, man. I'm not trying to get at you. I'm just laying out the scenery. That costed money. That might have, depending on where they took her, might have been 10 racks, might have been more than that. But that's out of his pocket. That's not out of Glorilla's pocket, right? Music royalties take time. You're not gonna get no royalties off of your music, off the selling or streaming of your music for a minimum of 3 months after it releases. Songs blowing up, Let's Go, all of this stuff coming out. She started doing music with Yo Gotti. She's not rich. She might have barely started getting royalties off of FNF by the time Yo Gotti signed her. As an artist, you don't get paid off radio spins. Songwriters get a little cut off radio spins. Performing artists do not. She's not being paid off the radio spins. Song is getting played everywhere. Money is not coming. Publishing royalties. Okay, maybe Glorilla wrote the song, you know what I'm saying? Or her parts. Every rhyme that she ever put out might have been penned by Glorilla. Publishing royalties come out quarterly. So if you put a song out, let's say, just as an example, you put a song out in April. With the publishing, she may not actually get a check until maybe February, possibly April of the following year. You know what I'm saying? More than likely like February. But you got to think that's like a 8 month, 8 month period where you're waiting on that money to accumulate and finally get sent out. And they're only going to send you that check for each quarter. So you're going to get a first quarter check, second quarter check, third quarter check, fourth quarter check, right? By the time you get paid in February, you're probably going to get your third quarter check from the previous year, which means anywhere between that April to like September kind of margin. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the song took off immediately when we're talking about FNF. I don't know if it was a slow burn, if it was already out for a minute and, you know, a couple months later it blew up. I don't really know the exact timeline of Glorilla's rise because I wasn't really tuned into who she was until way after the song blew up. Even when it was popping off, I was like, what the is this? But I'm just trying to keep y'all up to date on like how this stuff works, because as an artist, a lot of times we don't even come in knowing how the pay structure works, right? We're coming off the street. We might have had these accounts and things of that nature. We might have had a distribution account. We might have had a ASCAP BMI account. We might have had all of these things, but up until the point where you blow up, you're just getting incremental little pieces. You're getting change, 50 cents, 60 cent here, dollar here, $1.25, $5 here. You know what I'm saying? It's all very small until you finally start accumulating some streams and some placements and some radio play and all of this type of stuff, right? While she's blowing up, the people that are closest to her are seeing that her profile is beginning to change. The club she was getting booked to do free shows at, now they reaching out offering 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and that price is continuing to grow. So that's really the only financial access that she has for a little bit. And although that may seem like big money, 5, 10, 15,000, it's really not that major. On your rise, you still got to do free shows too. You got to go out and do promo. Every show ain't going to be paid. So you might get like 5 back to back to back. They quoting you 5 here, 8 here, 12 here. All right, you would have made a decent little money, you know what I mean? Like in that little 2-3 week run, you might have made what you were making from working wherever you was working. If you was working at the grocery store, the bookstore, Barnes and Noble, something like that, you might have been making 20 something racks a year, 30 something racks a year. Now you got 30 in your pocket or 30 in your bank. Most often you're not really holding on to that money because it's your first taste of it. You blowing it, you going to the strip club, trying to live the rapper lifestyle. You getting your own little first taste of some chains. You gotta up your wardrobe just so you can be seen as a rapper while you out in the streets. All of that type of stuff. That money can easily get ran through, especially if you're looking out for your friends and family. You buying food, you know what I'm saying? You got to think, if you come from a big family and y'all still close-knit, at least when you first pop off, who going to be paying for all the meals at that point? They're going to be expecting you to do it because you are the one with the profile. How you famous now and you ain't got $200 to buy food for the house? Now that falls on you. How you got a chain but you can't buy McDonald's for everybody? Oh, you know, such and such birthday coming. You know, you can't just get him a basketball for his birthday. He want this, he want that. You know, the expectations start changing and people gonna start putting their insecurities off on you because it's like, oh, you acting like you ain't got it. What, you changing on me? You trying to leave us behind? You gonna forget about all the times we looked out for you? But again, people don't understand that while your profile is growing, you're still, all your money is basically not there yet. You're waiting on it. You're counting down 5, 6, 8 months in between your next payday, other than doing shows, like I said. But the show money is not going to drastically change your life. You know what I mean? You got to be really established. You got to have a system going for yourself where, you know, you can have a booked show at least 2-3 days a week. Locally, going to the next city, going to the next state, 5-state radius, you getting booked. You do a quick run out of New York. You go to Philly, Jersey, Connecticut. Do the same thing out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for 2 weeks. You go to the West Coast. You go to the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? You got to have things strategically placed for you to hit all these markets. But then as you traveling, somebody got to be paying for that too. You got to pay for your flights. You got to pay for your hotels. You got to pay for your Ubers if you ain't driving. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not driving out there in your own car, then you're going to be on public transportation of some sort. You're either going to be hopping a train, which is not reliable time-wise for you to get nowhere. And then you're going to be getting Ubers and stuff like that. Plus, you're going to be paying for whoever your entourage is that you're taking with you, even if it's just 2-3 people, maybe a manager and an assistant or something. Who knows? But you got to cover them too now. So when your expenses used to be one person, now you're paying for 3 people everywhere you go. And that could easily increase depending on who you got with you. You might have 5 people and you are the breadwinner, so you got to pay. These people may or may not be related to you. They may just be assisting. They may just be there for the ride and you don't want to leave them behind. Best friends, stuff like that. This is just a quick, easy, simple glimpse to how the relationships could change. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know about her mama. Hopefully her mama riding, you know what I mean? But it gets a little sticky, man. So I definitely understand where she's coming from. And most people in the industry have to experience the same thing. Now, remember, years ago, Kobe cut off his parents. Got your bills covered, but y'all keep coming for ancillary stuff, discretionary funds. You trying to go hustle up a business. You trying to go this. You trying to do this, that, the third. I ain't got it all the time because just because you have it don't mean you have it forever. You may need a plan of action on how to make it back. They sold off his memorabilia. He cut them off completely. This type of stuff happens a lot, man. Because again, the spotlight changes and the people around you see that glow, but they don't understand everything that goes into it to make that happen. Now, another interesting piece in this interview with The Cut, Glorilla actually addressed her rap voice changing drastically from, maybe the first time people started hearing her up until she blew up. Now, a lot of people have put out little montages of how her voice developed and changed over the course of the last couple years. And she hadn't really spoken on it too much. She had kind of let it fly. But I guess the people at The Cut decided to address it head on, and she didn't duck. So she says that she was never really fond of her rap voice when she started. She said her voice started to change when she picked up a smoking habit. Then when she tried to alter her voice, her friends stepped in and were asking her why she sounded the way she sounded, right? So she says, when I first started rapping, I wanted to sound like a girl. So she was kind of pitching her voice up to have more of a feminine tone, more of the Nicki Minaj girly tone. But her friends wanted her to keep her naturally burly voice, right? Her deeper voice. They were like, you really got bars. Your voice just sounds squeaky. She said, I was like, okay, let me just put emphasis on what I already sound like. Just add a little bit more sauce to it. That's her explanation. Now, I can't say nothing. I don't really know Glorilla like that. Her voice ain't all that different from her rapping voice, but there was a drastic difference, like I said, and she was putting on this higher pitched tone. Now, one thing I will say, when you listen to a majority, even of the male rappers, their voices change over time. When you listen to, like, Lupe Fiasco is one of the artists that I always looked at. When he came out, his voice was like really high. And it's not like his voice is super deep now, but he used to pitch up his voice a lot because he was coming in during that Jay-Z era where Jay-Z had the high pitched voice and it was like becoming the thing. So he would be like, catch me, I'm ballin', catch me, I'm ballin'. But then now when he raps, it's more like, catch me, I'm ballin', catch me, I'm ballin'. And he raps more in his natural tone. Some people don't like it. Some people feel like go back to the old way of rapping because it feels a little less effort. You know what I mean? It just happens. You get to a certain point, you reach a certain level of comfort within your delivery, within your flow, within your bars. A lot of people make that transition. So I can't really fault Glorilla for making that change earlier in her career opposed to later, which means that she doesn't have a whole lot of catalog of her in that high voice. You know what I'm saying? The first time we really heard her on a big level was with that trademark voice that people have grown to understand, at least expect, whether you like it or not. And that's what she's going to be doing. You know what I mean? I think when I look at how that changed, I just feel like she tried to transition herself into being like a female Yo Gotti. That's kind of how I look at Glow. When I look at the older music she was putting out, it wasn't the same. I've heard some clips. But I can't fault her for that. Now that I've said everything I wanted to say about her interview with The Cut, y'all go ahead and chime in down below in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this whole cutting off family and friends, people changing, her having to deal with that. Let me know what y'all think about, just my whole scenario, my breakdown. Was it clear enough for you? All of those things being considered, let me know what you guys think, man. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the post notification bell for all updates. If you're an artist, producer, songwriter, or manager, or somebody trying to assist an artist, I highly recommend that you visit realjnolan.com. Check out my book, The Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2, where I outline all of the different strategies, revenue collection agencies and royalties, and I even break down some of your favorite distribution companies, all of those things in the book to give artists an outline on how to grow their career and, more importantly, monetize their career. Stop doing everything for free and learn ways to turn your craft into a business so that you can fund the things that you need without going into your personal finances. All of that is in the book. Or you can book a direct consultation with me also on realjnolan.com, where we can go over those things, go over the strategies that you need, figure out a layout for what it is that you want to do in 2023 as an artist. All of that stuff is available to you, once again, at realjnolan.com. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Much love and respect. Peace.
Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag. Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag.